Welcome in episode number 102. We are here previewing the Big Ten, the Big Ten, or the Big 18. There's a lot of teams to go through, so if your team is bad, we'll touch on them, but that's all you're getting. Joining me on this Fun Day Sunday is friend and co-host Zach Huffman. Zach, how we doing today?
I know we're doing good. We're what, 1 week? I mean, we got college football this week, right?
Correct.
Right,
You know
am I
what?
correct?
Hawaii, Stanford. Is that the one Thursday?
Oh baby.
Oh, it's a late nighter. I'm staying up.
You know, basically we're a week away from the start of the season. Beautiful, man. It's beautiful. We get an August 30th matchup between Texas and Ohio State in about what, 10 days? Something like that, 13 days? Can't wait.
Big time. It's big time. So look, we touched on the SEC last episode, and you know the response was pretty good. I mean, you know, people seem to really enjoy the SEC football talk. But I'll be honest, Zach, the big movers for us in the analytics department are our friends here in the Big Ten. I mean, they seem to really have a knack for finding our channel and our content. So we're gonna make sure this is special for you guys, because you know you do so well all the damn time for us. And let's get it going here. We're gonna start with Illinois. Last year's win total was 5.5. Now I don't know their projected win total as far as the betting lines go for this season, because we're using a different article this week. We're using the Big Ten predictions and picks from collegefootballnews.com. So they don't have the betting lines next to these as far as what the numbers are, but they do have their predictions as what the records they think these teams will be. So I don't know if we're gonna, I guess we can base it off of that, because we don't really have anything else to go on. But let's start off with just the blatant fact here, Zach, that these guys really like Illinois, because they've got them going 8-4 this year. 9-3 in the 5-4 in the Big Ten, 8-4 overall. And one of those wins, Zach, is against Ohio State. They got wins at Western Illinois, Duke, Western Michigan, Purdue, Rutgers, Maryland, and Northwestern, which I all don't have a problem with. But then they throw Ohio State in there as their fifth conference win here, Zach. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. Smoking meth out the gate is kind of crazy. I mean, that's kind of wild.
Yeah, I don't know what they're smoking. I'm not even thinking that they win all of their out of conference games here. I see Duke on their schedule at Duke, and I'm thinking that could be a loss for Illinois.
Mince is not a scrub,
so I
baby.
think what I'm
Mince
gonna
is not a scrub.
No, he's not. And so what I think I'm going to do here is I think I'm going to keep all these losses that they have here. I'm going to add Ohio State to that loss column, and I'm going to add Duke to that loss column. And I think that puts them at 6-6 for me.
Yeah, that would be
So
6-6.
I'm going to go 6-6 here.
6-6.
And honestly, this is a cupcake schedule too. So they should, I mean, obviously they have to play Ohio State, but I mean, they're missing the rest of the rest of the Big Ten talent-wise, in terms of Oregon, Penn State, Michigan, Iowa. I would throw Nebraska in there this year. Cupcake schedule, and they're still probably going 6-6.
Yeah, I tend to kind of agree with that sentiment. Mainly because, again, I'm a big Mensa believer. I think Duke is going to be pretty good this year, and I'm fine with the losses against Indiana, USC, Washington, and Wisconsin. I think those make sense to me. But like you said, I think you add Ohio State, I think you add Duke here, and I think you have a good 6-6 record here for Illinois. You're going bowling, have fun in the Alamo Bowl or wherever you're going. But you avoid having to play Michigan, you avoid having to play Oregon and Penn State. So like you said, really soft schedule here, and I agree with you. It's still 500, 6-6.
Yeah. And listen, there's just no chance that they're beating Indiana. I mean, Indiana is a powerhouse program in the Big Ten. Let's talk about it. Where do you see in Indiana this year?
I mean, look, everybody's kind of riding that high from last season, and I don't have a problem with that per se. I really don't. Um, I just I don't know if I have them as high as they do. Now they've got them going 9-3, 6-3 in conference. They've got Indiana beating Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State, Illinois, Michigan State, Maryland, Wisconsin, and Purdue. And to be honest, those wins seem like wins to me. I think you could maybe sway me with Wisconsin because I think that's going to be a battle. I think that game is going to be one of those games you look back on and go, very low scoring, but very entertaining Big Ten type football game, especially around that time of year right before Thanksgiving. So, I mean, I think it's just kind of prime to be one of those that could swing either way. The losses at Penn State and Iowa, and where's the third loss at here? I'm looking. Oh, Iowa,
Penn State.
Oregon, and Penn State. I think they could beat Iowa. I mean, I'm just saying. I think they could. I think they could beat Iowa on the road. It's a tough one, but it's early on in the season. I don't like how Iowa normally comes on late and they don't start. I mean, like recently they've started really strong because their schedule have been so soft. They've been going 7-8-0 stuff like that. But I don't think this is the same type of Iowa team. I like that spot for Indiana to get that W, especially before a bye week heading into the Oregon game. I think it's just a good spot for them to pick that thing up. Um, I think I'm buying. I think I'm buying the Indiana hype just because of the schedule. Give me 10-2. I say they beat Iowa and the rest of it stays the way it is. I think they pull it out at home against Wisconsin in a tough battle, and I think 10-2.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. I mean, I'm a big Curtis Worker believer. Finished ninth in Heisman voting last year, leading what like the top two offense in college football. I mean, Indiana's really got the offense to do this thing. Defensively, that's a little bit more of a concern. Um, Defensive line isn't great this year. They lost a little bit of talent. Um, so it's not going to be the defensive line like we saw last year. Um, Secondary is still going to be good. Linebackers still going to be good. I just don't know if they can hold up front against some of these bigger teams like Oregon and Penn State. But I think I'm going to have to agree with 10-2. I think they can beat Iowa, just considering the fact that Iowa is not going to have the same level of offense. And as long as the defensive line doesn't struggle too much in Iowa, then yeah, I think I'm going to go 10-2 here. They finished last season 11-2 with the bowl win, so I'm a big believer, and I think that they're going to contend for the Big Ten here, and I think this is definitely a playoff team.
Yeah, I think they could take one of those spots. I mean, I really do. I mean, barring injury here, I think they've really got a schedule that really leans into that. And that takes us to Iowa. Um, Look, they've got Iowa going 8-4, 5-4 in conference, same record as Illinois. Um, they've got them beating Indiana. They've got them beating Minnesota. They've got Iowa beating Oregon, and I think that's probably smoking crack. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't think that's gonna happen. They've got losses to USC, Penn State, Wisconsin. I think you add Indiana on there. I think you add Oregon on there. This is another 6-6 team, Zach. This is a 6-6 Iowa team.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go that far. So let's just go game by game here. Albany W, Iowa State,
I don't
Penn
know. I
State
don't. I don't
W,
know.
Penn State W.
Rocco Becht, baby.
I'm
Rocco
just gonna say
Becht.
W there. It just feels right. UMass W, at Rutgers W. Indiana, we're gonna both count as a loss here. So let's see. That puts them at 4-1 right now. Then they got Wisconsin. I think they can beat Wisconsin personally.
On the road.
So I'm a
On the road.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Jump
so.
around on the road. I don't
Um,
know.
I don't think Wisconsin is going to be nearly as good as people. So Penn State lost, Minnesota W, Oregon lost at USC. I'm gonna call that a W. Michigan
Okay.
State W at Nebraska. I'm
Okay.
gonna call that a loss. So let's see. I got them losing to Indiana. I got them losing to Penn State. I got them losing to Oregon, and I got them losing. Um, no, I think that was it, right? Indiana, Penn State, Oregon. Yeah, nine
Yeah.
and three.
9-3. 9-3.
I mean, why not, right?
I mean,
I went 8-4 last year.
man, I just don't know. I don't like that schedule as much. I'm going 6-6, baby. I just can't. I can't do it. I cannot do it.
You
Give
think
me
they lose to Nebraska?
no. How?
I mean, are you sure they lose to USC?
The
What
Nebraska
USC got?
the Nebraska is a good question. I didn't even think about that. The Nebraska is a good
But that's
question.
at Nebraska. That's
Yeah,
at
I think
Nebraska. That's at
yeah.
USC. But
Yeah, I think that's why. I think that's why. I don't disagree with that. I think that's you just add Indiana and Oregon, and I think that's it. I mean, I just yeah, you could. I mean, could they beat Nebraska? At that point in the year, we'll know. I mean but right now, I don't know. I don't know. On paper, I still kind of like Nebraska.
dude, I mean, it's the defense, and like there are
Yeah,
question marks at the quarterback position for Iowa. Sure. Who they get? They got that. They got that transfer,
yeah.
that FCS transfer.
From
Um,
South Dakota State. He's good too.
Mark Gronowski.
Yeah, he's good. I watched him. He's good. He's good.
Um,
Good
all right.
enough, at
Well,
least.
that's the thing. Like he might be the kind of the spark that this offense needs. I mean, we both know Cade McNamara was nothing.
Yeah, he wasn't that great. That was a letdown, in my
JJ
opinion.
McCarthy was absolutely insane. Um, I guess like the rest of the offense probably still question marks.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe 7-5.
Defense wins games, though, man. Defense wins games. So I'm looking at that USC game and I'm thinking, who's the coach of that team again?
I
They won't
mean,
have a defense.
hey, they've got a good DC now. It's gonna be better now. But yeah, okay. I'll say 7-5. I'll say 7-5. You got them 9-3. That takes us to Maryland, the hapless Terrapins. Boy, college football news hating the Terrapins, having them going 4-8 and 1-8 in the Big Ten. Here are the wins they've got for the Maryland Terrapins: Florida Atlantic, Northern Illinois, Towson, and Nebraska as the wins for Maryland. They have losses to Wisconsin,
No.
Washington, UCLA, Indiana, Rutgers, Illinois, Michigan, and Michigan State. Your thoughts?
Oh God.
It's bad. It's not good.
Is it bad if 3-9?
3-9.
They're gonna
Yeah,
win their first three and lose all 9 conference games. This is bad.
it's
I mean, look at this schedule, man. I don't
it's.
even know if they beat Northern Illinois.
I know. I was gonna say 2-10. I was gonna say 2-10, but
Wow. Wow.
but
I think I'm gonna go. You know what?
but I think 3-9 is
They're
more
gonna lose to Florida
realistic.
Atlantic. They're gonna lose to Florida Atlantic. I got them going 2-10. They're gonna lose to Florida Atlantic.
Yeah, it's
Then they're
not.
gonna beat Northern Illinois. They're gonna beat Towson, and they're losing to Wisconsin, Washington, Nebraska. I don't know how they haven't beaten Nebraska. UCLA, Indiana, Rutgers, Illinois, Michigan, Michigan State. Yeah, that's
I mean, Michigan
yeah.
State. I don't know how good they're supposed to be,
Maryland
but
was terrible last season,
I
man.
mean,
I think we
yeah.
got 2-10.
I'm going 3-9. Give me 3-9. Just I just for some reason I feel like Northern Illinois is saving their wrath for a team we spoke about last week. um, but yeah, big time stuff there. Moving on, Michigan. College football news kind of high on Michigan, 9-3. 7-2 in the Big Ten. Now, the big news for you, Zach, is they've got an L to Oklahoma here in the non-con. So, I mean, you have some friends over there, college football news, that know ball a little bit. They might be smoking crack in between, but they had a good day on this day, it looks like. They've got Michigan beating New Mexico, Central Michigan, Nebraska, Wisconsin, USC, Washington, Purdue, Northwestern, and Maryland. And, Zach, I have no problems with any of those wins. Do you?
I have no problems with any of those wins.
They've got losses to Ohio State, Michigan State, and Oklahoma. I I don't have any really problems with that. The Michigan State one is a little bit questionable to
I have a
me.
problem with that. I have a problem with that.
Yeah,
Michigan's
that's
going to beat
that.
the shit out of Michigan
Yeah,
State.
I don't think that that's on the
Bro, they went
cards.
5-7.
Yeah,
5-7
yeah.
last year.
This is a 10-2 football team. This is a 10-2 football team, if I've ever
Yeah.
seen one.
Yeah, I perfectly agree. They're going to lose to OU and they're going to lose to Ohio State, and that'll be the end of it. They're lucky they don't play Oregon.
Yeah,
They're lucky they
I
don't play
agree.
Penn State. And
I
quite
agree.
frankly, they're lucky they don't play Indiana.
True. True. They avoid a lot of big hitters in this schedule. So Michigan's schedule really does help them out. Um, yeah, I like that. I like 10-2. It's gonna be a good year for the Wolverines. And that moves on to little brother here. And college football news has them going 6-6. Obviously they've got one of those wins being against Michigan, so we're gonna have to literally eviscerate that one from the win column. But I have no problems with Michigan State beating Western Michigan, Youngstown State, Maryland, or UCLA. UCLA not supposed to be very good. Losses to Indiana, Minnesota, Penn State, Iowa, USC, Nebraska. I don't know, Zach. I mean, this could be a 4-8 team easily.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go 5-7 because I don't know about UCLA. Mm, no, fuck it. Give me 4-8. Yeah,
Okay.
give me 4-8. I think they lose to UCLA, and I think they lose to Michigan. So I have them beating Western Michigan, Boston College, Youngstown State, and Maryland, with losses to USC, Nebraska, UCLA, Indiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Penn State, and Iowa. So I have them going 1-9 in conference play, and then 3-0 and out of conference for a 4-8 record.
Yeah, look, I'm having the four wins be Maryland, UCLA, Youngstown State, Western Michigan. I say they lose to Boston College. I say they lose to Boston College. I don't think Boston College is that bad. I don't. I think they've got
Big.
a decent quarterback after theirs transferred out. I don't know. I like it. I don't know. I like Boston College there. I mean, you could easily convince me 3-9. You want me to go 3-9? I can go 3-9. We can add an L to UCLA and Boston College. 3-9. Fuck it. Give me 3-9. Horrible year. Get fired. Whoever's coaching
Wow.
that team, you're screwed, dog. Michigan State, boo boo toilet year. Have fun crying all fall, Michigan State fans. It's gonna get ugly. And that moves us on
I mean,
to
what's changed about this team actually? What? Okay, so Jonathan Smith is the coach, right?
yeah. Aiden
And they're in the
Childs is
second
your
season. They
quarterback
have to do
again.
better because they went fucking what, 5-7, which
Yeah, last year they went 5-7,
pretty much
and
what.
in
So we have
their
them both getting worse.
yeah,
Quarterback wise,
but
Aiden
that's their
Child, yeah.
schedule's fault. It's not really their fault. It's the schedule's fault. I don't. I it just and I just don't believe in them as a team. I just don't believe in Jonathan Smith. I saw the disaster that he was at Oregon State. I don't believe in Aiden Childs. He's not very good. You can ask one of my Oregon State buddies if he's happy that he's moved on. You can guarantee you he's giddy as a schoolgirl. So I mean, it's
I mean, their offensive line was shitty.
yeah. It doesn't help him out. It doesn't help him out. So it's just rough. It's just rough to believe in the Spartans. I mean, if they can pull out even the same record as last year, it'll be a miracle, in my opinion. Like 5-7's the ceiling. Like that's not good.
Yeah, 5-7 the ceilings. The O line has to find some consistency. They were dog shit last year, and the pass rush was kind of dog shit last year too. So Yeah, I don't see Michigan State improving at all.
Yeah, well, let's see if Minnesota's any better. College football news has Minnesota going 7-5, going 4-5 in conference. They've got them beating Buffalo, Northwestern State, Cal, Purdue, Nebraska, Michigan State, and Wisconsin, with losses at Rutgers, Ohio State, Iowa, Oregon, Northwestern. Look, man, 8-4. No, you know what? No, 7-5. Cal's a loss. Northwestern's a win. That's the only mistake. I mean, because I like them to beat Nebraska at home. I think that's a great spot for them after a very, very convincing win against Purdue in a previous week. Because I think Purdue's going to be garbage, boo boo, scat queen.
Um, Let me see here. Let me go. Let me go game by game here.
Yeah, go ahead. This is Minnesota's schedule, by the way.
Well, let me talk about Minnesota. What has Minnesota done this offseason? Fleck is obviously good. I've been a big fan of Minnesota. They were 8-5 last season. But geez, new quarterback Drake Lindsay, redshirt freshman.
You're freshman.
They got some transfers. They got Emmett Moorhead from Boston College and Old Dominion. Running back room's pretty good. Darius Taylor's coming back.
He's good enough.
O line might struggle with new guys, but it was decent last season. But they just lost some talent. Um,
I mean, Wisconsin and L. I mean, you could
Secondary's
convince me
still good.
Wisconsin's an L.
Secondary's still good. I think so. I think I'm decent. Team. I'm gonna go. All right, Buffalo W, Northwestern State W, Cal W. I'm gonna go Rutgers W. I think they
Yeah,
beat Rutgers.
yeah.
Ohio State's an L. Purdue's a W. Nebraska, I'm gonna go L there. I'm gonna go L to Iowa. I'm gonna go W Michigan State, L to Oregon, W Northwestern, W Wisconsin. I got them going 8-4. 8-4 with losses to Ohio State, Nebraska, Iowa, and Oregon.
Yeah, I mean,
I think this team's just
yeah,
experienced, right?
yeah.
They have a couple new faces, like they have a new face at quarterback, but other than that, this team is pretty experienced.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 7-5. I just think the Cal's a loss, and I think Northwestern's a win. I mean, I don't have a problem with 8-4 if you believe this team enough to go 8-4, but
What do you see from Cal though? What are you getting from Cal?
name recognition. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I just don't like that spot though. It's just weird to me. Like the matchup is
I
weird.
mean,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
there at Cal.
It's a
Yeah.
weird matchup. I mean, you're traveling a ways. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good spot to me, and I feel like Cal booked this game thinking they were gonna beat them. I don't know. I mean, I don't know when they booked this game. If it was 2 or 3 years ago, I think they still probably would have thought that this would have been a win for them. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. I'll tell you what, collegefootballnews.com is not big on Nebraska at all.
They are not. Please tell me about it.
They have them going 6-6 with the 3-6 conference record, and I just don't
Woo!
see that anywhere on the schedule.
Woo!
I don't understand what we don't like about Nebraska this season. Dylan Raiola is coming back. Obviously, I think he's one of the best returning quarterbacks in college football. What do you think?
The potential is there, yes. If he can limit turnovers, I think it'll be a big step in the right direction. I believe he will be better.
And they're returning Emmett Johnson, who was a good running back last season. Offense is going to be decent, I think. Had a lot of transfers come in through the wide receiver and tight end room. Um, but they got what, an Isaiah Hunter out of Cal. I'll tell you what, from college football 26, I can tell you right now that Hunter is a beast. Yeah, he has a lot of speed. So I like that pick. Um, Defensively, it's coached by Matt Rule, so I'm happy with that. And the defense has always been decent at Nebraska, so I'm pretty high on this team. They have them going 6-6. I'm gonna go game by game here, and you're probably gonna throw some things at me. Um, Cincinnati W, Akron W, Houston Christian W, Michigan loss. I'll give Michigan that. Michigan State W, Maryland W, Minnesota W, Northwestern W, USC W, UCLA W, Penn State loss, Iowa loss. I have them going 9-3. 9-3
Yeah.
with losses to Penn State, Iowa, and where was it?
Michigan.
Michigan.
Say Iowa, Michigan
I
lost.
don't see another loss there.
Yeah.
Maybe USC, maybe Minnesota, maybe UCLA. Michigan might be a win. I don't
Look, when I look at this Nebraska schedule, like you just ran through, I do agree. I think Michigan probably beats them. Michigan State and Maryland have to be wins, so you're already 7-5 in my world. Minnesota, I need that to be a loss, so keep that a loss, at least for my personal gain in this conversation. Western W, I think USC and UCLA. I mean, they're getting at least one of those. I don't believe they're going to lose both of those, and I like them to beat Iowa at home. Season ender. If everybody's healthy at that point, I think I would take that. So I think 8-4 is probably where I'd put them with losses: Penn State, Michigan, Minnesota, and then either USC or UCLA, one of the two. But I think they get the win elsewhere. But it's still over the 6 they've got. I think 8-4 is way more likely for Nebraska if everybody plays to the best of their ability.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And then, unfortunately, we're gonna have to go over Northwestern here.
Yeah, I mean, do we have to?
Northwestern is
Um,
ugh. I mean, ugh. But they actually have a pretty decent schedule. Obviously they have a Big Ten schedule, so it's not good. But I mean, they got ULM in the middle of there, so
yeah,
it's not too bad.
no,
So I mean, let's just get this over with. There's
they're
nothing to really
not
say
beating
about
Minnesota.
Northwestern. They're not beating Minnesota, but like, there's not much to say, um, other than the fact they have Preston Stone.
True, he's not a slouch.
Preston Stone. I don't know what happened there. Why is he there? Why would he go there?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
got
understand.
pushed out by that other kid that took over for him
But like,
last year.
Northwestern is the best he could do. I mean, I get it. I get it's the Big Ten, but Jesus, you could have gone to Iowa.
Yeah, guess
I
guess
mean, come
guess
on.
Gronowski had that locked
Um,
up.
that's crazy. He must have got a bag from
Oh
Northwestern,
yeah,
which I'm
bag.
sure has plenty of money.
Yeah, I
Probably got
mean
a bag.
bag.
But so let's see. At Tulane,
I I don't know.
I'm gonna
Tulane.
call that a loss. I'm gonna
Yeah, it's
call
a
that a
loss
loss,
because they've got
actually.
BYU's ex quarterback now. They got Retzlaff down there for
Yeah,
Tulane
I'm
now.
gonna call that. I'm gonna
That's a
call that a
loss.
loss.
Two and 10,
They're gonna beat
2 and
Western Illinois.
10, 2 and 10, 2 and
Yeah,
10.
2-10. They're gonna beat Western Illinois. They're gonna lose. I think we're both in agreement on everything on this list from here on out. So Tulane's a loss. Western Illinois is a win. Oregon's a loss. UCLA's a loss. I'll call ULM a win.
Yeah, give them that.
Penn State's a loss. Purdue's a loss. Nebraska's a loss. USC's a loss. Michigan's a loss. Minnesota's a loss. Illinois is a loss.
2
2 and
and 10.
10. Maybe, 3-9 with Purdue.
Yeah, the Purdue game is the one I would kind of lean into also. But yeah, 2 and 10. I mean, this team is bad. It's not good. I mean, look, Preston Stone can't save you from the awfulness that is this schedule, and to have to go against Retzlaff in your first game too is just a disaster. I mean, he's pissed. He's playing angry. So that's gonna be great. You're gonna be in for your. I think Tulane is gonna actually be. There won't be as big of a drop off as we thought when Mensa left now. So I think that kind of fell into Tulane's lap. Like, oh, thank you very much. We'll take the bad PR for this. But that takes us to Ohio State. They've got Ohio State going 10-2.
Smoky.
Big W's here in the win column on college football news for the Buckeyes. 8-1 in conference, with the only loss, according to them, being Illinois, which again we've already said is absolutely like why. I really want some explanation here, because we know
I mean, they just had to have their hot take.
yeah, we know what the answer is here. Um, Look, the answer is they lose to Penn State, right? I mean, not Illinois. If they're going to lose any conference game, it would be Penn State having the highest odds of beating them.
Well, realistically, it's Michigan, right? Just because of the rivalry, right? Like
Yeah,
anything can happen in
well,
that game.
and
But
just I mean,
realistically,
yeah,
if it's any game, I think it's Michigan.
okay, I can see your argument for
I
that.
got I got Ohio State going 12-0. I don't know
Jesus.
if they repeat as national champions, but looking at this schedule, I got them going 12-0. I think the big question mark everyone's looking at is Texas, and then probably Penn State. I think they're going to beat Texas. I don't see a reason why not. I mean, Texas obviously very, very talented this season, but I've already said that Ohio State's going to beat them in earlier predictions. So obviously they got a new starter this year, Julian Sayin kid or
Yeah,
Stein kid. I don't know how to say it.
saying, yeah, Julian saying,
Um, and he's a former 5-star recruit, one of the biggest prospects ever recruited. Apparently, he left uh, Alabama after Nick Saban retired, not transferred. So I guess I'm not too worried about that quarterback room. I guess they have West Virginia transfer C.J. Donaldson coming in at the running back position. This is where they lose a lot of talent. That's going to be a tough loss there, losing Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. That's a big loss at the running back room, but it just shows how talented they are and how well that they recruit. That they're losing so many guys to the NFL. So Amike Ibuka is obviously a loss to the NFL, but they keep Jeremiah Smith, who I think is the best player in college football. Um, Dude is absolutely insane. If it's not a quarterback that wins Heisman, then it's going to be Jeremiah Smith. And then he's got Carnell Tate in there. I mean, I think that this offense is going to be absolutely littered with talent. Um, Offensive line, not too worried about. Ohio State never really has to worry about that. They're in Ohio; they'll be fine. Um, Defensive line, I mean, I guess you lose Jack Sawyer, right? That sucks, but I'm also not really worried about that either. I'm not worried about any defense that's at Ohio State. Um, I have him going 12-0. As long as Julian Sayin is as good as people are saying he is.
yeah, I've got them going 11-1. I think they lose one of these conference games. God, which one would I put? It wouldn't be Illinois. I'll tell you that much. Not gonna be Illinois.
I think if I mean, you
I
already
mean,
picked them to beat Michigan, so
it's got to be Penn State. Yeah,
it's got to be Penn State here.
yeah. I mean, Penn State. I say, yeah, I lost to Penn State. I say Penn State finally gets over that hump. Let's give them the hump.
If you want to throw something out there, though, maybe you say Minnesota.
I am gonna be at that game.
Oh, you are
Yeah, I'm gonna be at that game. So,
in Columbus.
yeah, I'll be up there for it. Maybe Minnesota, but I already said they weren't going earlier. So, I think I
You
gotta
got to
go.
show up in Minnesota gear. You got to show up in Gopher gear.
It's Ohio.
Come
That's
on,
the loss. It's Ohio in the non-con rivalry game.
it's
Give me the
Ohio.
Bobcats. Give me the
It's
Bobcats. No.
Grambling State. It's Grambling State.
dude, they're gonna get mollywopped so bad. I saw that TikTok of them. Woof. They do not look like a football team. They look like a baseball team with pads on.
Believe that
It's bad.
Ohio State's going to be
No,
there.
I think 11-1. 11-1. It's still over the 10. And you have another Big Ten championship appearance probably for Ohio State to give themselves a first round bye in the playoff. So good for them. They definitely are a really good team, and that leads us to my Oregon Ducks. Look, they have us going 10-2 with losses at Iowa and Penn State. Now, I can already tell you we're not going to lose to Iowa on the road. That's not happening. So that puts us at 11-1 here, which I feel like is a very strong possibility. I think we probably do lose to either Penn State, or you could even sway me that we could probably lose one of these non-conference games. Like if Oklahoma State ends up being better than we think they're going to be, they could scare us. I wouldn't be surprised. Oregon State can always get us. We've been nipped in the bud by them because that's a rivalry, and we decided not to get rid of it. So, those could definitely be in the running. Penn State, like I said, is definitely, I can understand that, but I just don't see any other losses on here. I say 11-1. I think this is an 11-1 football team. If Dante Moore is as good as they say he is, then I trust him. And if he's not, we'll know after week 2. I think week 2 is going to be a really big test for them, because as bad as Oklahoma State's been, I think that's still a higher quality opponent, than that. That's going to be the highest one they see before conference play. So I think that's a good measuring stick. So 11-1. What do you got?
Yeah, I got 11-1. I got them losing to Penn State at Penn State. That's just a tough place to go and win.
It's so tough.
Yeah, I got them going 11-1. I think they beat Iowa. But I mean, I'm a big believer in Dan Lanning. I'm a big believer in Dante Moore. I'm a big believer in Evan Stewart. This offense is going to be extremely talented. The defense is returning most of their guys. The only question I have offensively is offensive line, and I'm not too worried about that with Dan Lanning's level of recruitment. So I think these are going to be. I think personally, I thought they were the second best team in the country last year. At the end of the season, their only losses were to Ohio State, right?
Yep.
Yeah, like I mean, they own their only losses were to the national champions, and one of those games was decided by 1 point, and Oregon should have won that game. And obviously they lose in that playoff matchup, but I don't see any reason why Oregon doesn't return to that level. I think they are a contender for the national championship. I have them in the playoff. I don't know if I have them in the Big Ten championship because
Yeah.
obviously I have Ohio State in there, and I probably have Penn State in there. But their Big Ten and the SEC are probably going to get 4 teams each if we're being realistic, in this playoff. And I think Oregon and Indiana are going to be 2 teams in the Big Ten that aren't in the championship game that are going to be in the playoff. So 11-1 in the playoff. I think they make a run. I have them maybe even be in the national champions this year. Only reason I would say probably not is because of Dante Moore being a question mark a little
Yeah.
bit. But they're right there in that top 5 for me in terms of contenders. And a lot of Big Ten teams are in there too. I mean, I have Ohio State in there, I have Oregon in there, I have Penn State in there. Outside of that, I'm looking basically at Georgia, Alabama. I mean, there's really like very few teams I'm as high on as I am on Oregon. And if they didn't play Penn State, they're probably going 12-0. I mean, if you replace Penn State with say Michigan State, that's a 12-0 team.
Yeah, I can give you that. I like that. I kind of think you're on the right track. I think it does kind of, again, depend on how good the quarterback situation is. When you talk about Ohio State or Oregon, I think that's a big factor that we just don't know yet. And I think we're putting a lot of stock in these young men, but they've got to go out there and prove it. And they're going to get tested
I mean,
early.
they're given their 5 stars for a reason. I mean, they got 5 stars
Well,
for a reason.
well, I
They
mean,
obviously are good.
are they
I
going to
mean,
catch Jackson
I know,
Arnolditis? I mean, what about Jackson Arnolditis? I mean, it could be
I
contagious.
know, I know. But I think Jetson, that happens, right? There are some 5 stars that obviously don't turn out great, but I think it's pretty rare, and I think Jackson Arnold's a pretty big exception for the rule on 5 star. I mean, he really just. Ugh.
DJ
And you know what? Let's address it. Let's
Uyunglele.
address it. These fucking Auburn fans, all up in our comments talking about Jackson Arnold. We have a competent quarterback, Jackson Arnold. He's going to be good. Jackson Arnold is dog shit. The receiver room might be one of the best in the country. It doesn't matter because the ball's going to go 10 yards in front of them every fucking play, or it's going to go 10 yards behind them every fucking play. I mean, the dude is not accurate. He can throw really far. He's not accurate. That's all he's got going for him, and that's why he was good in high school because he's a big dude. He could run and he can throw the ball far, but he can't do it when a cornerback or he can't do it when a cornerback's actually able to keep up with his receiver, and that just didn't happen when he was in high school. So I
Yeah,
he's
it's
not
yeah.
he's not that guy. We saw the video. Hugh Freeze is fucking pissed at him. I mean, look at that. You saw that. I mean, that throw was terrible. That throw was terrible.
He didn't get
And
a
then
throw
the
off.
one highlight we see out of there, the
Mhm.
one highlight. I mean, yeah, he didn't. But I'm talking about the one highlight that we saw from Auburn, right? Fucking overthrew the shit out of the receiver, and the receiver somehow dove and caught it. And they're like, "Oh, what a connection!" It's like, no,
He
you have to
should.
dive for
Yeah,
that
yeah.
ball.
You shouldn't
Oh
have
my
to do
god!
that as a
And then
receiver
and then that other we saw him and Hugh Freeze going at it because Jackson Arnold held the ball for 7 fucking seconds.
on a
Dude,
slant
I mean, he
route. Yeah,
just
on
can't get the ball off.
slants. Mhm.
Also, something about grown men playing against him instead of high school kids makes him fumble the ball a lot. So
Yeah,
sorry, Auburn.
yeah.
It's
It's
just
rough.
not going to happen. He's not an SEC quarterback.
Ugh, it's rough. All right. Speaking of
Yeah,
good,
that's my rant.
speaking of Heisman contending quarterbacks, one that's on everybody's list is Drew Aller and Penn State. College football news has them going 11-1, with their only loss being Ohio State, which would definitely ring true to your liking. And it also makes sense for what we said about Oregon. They could beat Oregon, and that could be, Oregon's only loss. It could be the same for Penn State. Their only loss could be Ohio State, with Ohio State being the only unscathed in the Big Ten. And this schedule really kind of speaks to that, Zach. You've got Nevada on here, FIU, Villanova, UCLA, Northwestern,
Yep.
Iowa, Indiana, Michigan State, Nebraska, and Rutgers as your wins, outside of Oregon. I mean, that's, in Ohio State, those are not very tough opponents.
Mhm.
So I would say the ceiling, the floor is probably 10-2. The floor is probably 10-2 here,
Yeah.
and the ceiling is probably undefeated. I mean, you would just need a huge effort on the road in Columbus. It's just not a good spot for Penn State
Uh,
historically, and James Franklin's just not that guy. So I mean, I'm just not going to give him that yet. Um, I am giving, Penn State a lot of credit as far as, possibly being able to do it. I think this is a good year for them to be able to, considering the quarterback experience and kind of, and depending on how good we find out Julian Sand to be, that's going to really lean into that as well. So we don't really know much about that matchup as much as people want to say. But I think 11-1 is pretty reasonable here. I don't really have a problem with it.
yeah, I got them going 11-1, and about their schedule. I think this schedule is set up that if they were undefeated, they would be even if there was an undefeated SEC team. I think if the Penn State Nittany Lions go 12-0 with this schedule, they'll be number one at the end of the season because that would mean they have wins against Oregon, Iowa, Ohio State, Indiana, and Nebraska, who I all think are going to be ranked in the top 20, top 15, top 20 in the country. So those are going to be great wins. But I have them losing to Ohio State at Columbus. But you know, everything else is going to be a win. I'm going 11-1. I think it's probably them and Ohio State rematch in the Big Ten championship game, and where that game goes, I don't know. I don't know. But I'll tell you this: I know for a fact that Penn State has probably the best quarterback in the Big Ten with Drew Aller, one of the best quarterbacks in the country with Drew Aller. Um, Probably the best running back duo in the country. Nick Singleton and Katron Allen are both really, really good. This offense is humming. It's humming. Um, Wide receivers are not that great. Tyler Warren, you lose Tyler Warren to the NFL. Um, I think that Drew Aller can probably make up for that. I think that he can throw them open if they're not able to get that open. And the running back room is good enough that play action is probably going to be wide open most of the time. Offensive line returning a lot of starters, defensive line returning a lot of starters. Obviously, they lose Abdul Carter in the linebacker position. That's going to be tough, but they still have Dominique DeLuca, who is a really good starting linebacker for them. So maybe a breakout season from him. But Abdul Carter is probably their biggest loss him and Tyler Warren. So that's going to be tough for Penn State to recover from. But this team was really, really good last year. They went 13-3 overall. What was that? 10-2 in the regular season, and then they lost to Notre Dame. So I think that this team is going to improve. They're returning a lot of talent. James Franklin's bound to win a big game eventually, right? So I think that this team can make some noise in the playoffs, might make some Big Ten championship, might make some noise November 1st in Columbus, but yeah, got to be doing 11-1. Probably going to end up probably again going to be a college football playoff semifinal team. I think they can get that far. They did it last year. I think they can do it again. So yeah, I'm gonna go 11-1 here with Penn State. Big on them. Big on them.
All right, Nittany Lions schedule favors for sure. That leads us to the hapless Purdue spoiler makers, baby. Can they spoil anybody? Look, man.
Nope.
College Football News has them going 3-9, 1-8 in conference, but their only conference win being against Northwestern. They got wins against Ball State and the Southern Illinois Salukis. Look, man. I'm just gonna tell you, I like the over here. I like a win against Rutgers too. I think 4-8 is probably right where I would put Purdue. I do think I'll give them the Northwestern nod. I just I think that this is not a great team. Their schedule doesn't really help them out either. You got Notre Dame on there, USC, Michigan, Ohio State, Washington, and Indiana. I mean, those are not matchups that I would really pick Purdue to win. The Minnesota on the road, I don't believe in that either. So yeah, I think 4-8. I think I give them Rutgers at home, and that's kind of where I'd put them. Your thoughts?
I think I'm just going to stay 3-9 here. I don't think they beat Rutgers. I think they beat Northwestern because Northwestern's dog shit. And then Southern Illinois and Ball State, you can pencil those in. So yeah, I'm not big on the Boilermakers this season. They're not going to spoil anybody because they have to play. They have to listen to this. Listen to the end of their season here.
Ugh,
Michigan, Ohio State at home, at Washington, Indiana at home. I mean,
that's four
Washington's
straight.
not going to be that good, but that's tough. Not to mention the fact they have to play Notre Dame.
Yeah,
Like, so I just don't see them finding a win anywhere here besides Northwestern.
yeah. I,
So yeah,
I
3-9. Ball State, Southern Illinois, Northwestern. One and I'm going 1-8 in conference.
Ugh. All right. Well, tough year for Purdue. Well, you know who would like to go bowling? The Rutgers Scarlet Knights would like to go bowling, Zach. College Football News has
Ew.
them going 6-6 and 3-6 in the Big Ten. They've got them beating Ohio, Miami of Ohio, Norfolk State, Minnesota, Purdue, and Maryland with losses at Ohio State, Penn State, Illinois, Oregon, Washington, and Iowa. Look, I'm gonna go 5-7 here. I think you add Minnesota to the loss column here, but I don't have really a problem with the rest of these.
That's Miami of Ohio, right? Not
Yes, not the U.
not
Yeah, not the
okay.
U. That's the Red Hawks of Miami of Ohio up there for week 2 for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Look, I might actually have to say that that Purdue game I have to say is a loss also. So a loss to Purdue and another loss to Minnesota. So give me 4-8. Give me 4-8 for Rutgers. I'm sorry, Rutgers. No bowling for you. Your thoughts?
Did we do Maryland?
Yeah, we did. We did Maryland. Yeah. You had them going 2-10.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was just making sure before I made a mistake here on my Rutgers pick. Um, oh man, got them going 5-7.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see them going bowling this year. I'm sorry. They went bowling last year, but schedule seems to be a little bit tougher this year. Haven't beaten Ohio, beating Miami, Ohio, beating Norfolk State. You're gonna lose to Iowa. They're gonna lose to Minnesota. They're going to lose to Washington. They're going to lose to Oregon. They're going to beat Purdue. They're going to lose to Illinois. They're going to beat Maryland. They're going to lose to Ohio State. And they're going to, what a brutal end to the
Ugh,
schedule. They're going to
yeah,
lose to Ohio State and they're going to lose to State.
yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, they're going to be 5-7, and they're going to have to decide. Like, Maryland's going to be their 5th win. And then they're going to go into Ohio State and then have Penn State at home and thinking, man, if we win one of these games, we're going bowling. Like,
Yeah, the confidence not probably through the
talk
roof
about a
there.
dream crush. Like,
Yeah,
you have to get that 6 win before you get to Ohio State. Like, it's
yeah, you're gonna have to. I don't know. I don't
that's
know.
tough. And I think that you're probably going to find it. You're more likely to find that 6th win at Washington than you are at Minnesota for me.
Yeah, even Michigan State. I mean, we weren't high on Michigan State. I mean, that could also be a toss-up game. But I mean, you're having to go.
Michigan State, I don't think State.
Say what?
They don't play Michigan State.
You don't? Oh, I'm looking at. Sorry, I'm looking at the next team. My bad. I'm looking at the next team already. I'm already moved on because they're so bad. Sorry, Rutgers. I've already moved on. You're not going bowling.
Yeah, they're bad. Let's go to UCLA.
UCLA, baby, they like to go bowling too. 6-6 is what College Football News has the Bruins going. They've got the Bruins beating UNLV, New Mexico, Northwestern, Maryland, Nebraska, and Washington, with losses against USC, Ohio State, Indiana, Michigan State, Penn State, and Utah. Look, man, the Bruins, they had their big welcome to the Big Ten moment last year. And they just keep having it. It's just a moment that just keeps repeating itself. And this is year 3 of UCLA trying to get something done in the Big Ten, and I just don't think they're gonna get it done. I think 5-7. I think the Nebraska game is a loss too. I think 5-7 is where you put it. The Utah game, not really sure what I think about that. I don't know how good Utah's supposed to be. It is at home for UCLA, or it's a neutral site, one of the two. So I don't really know how that's gonna play out. You could convince me that that's not a loss. I don't know how good Utah's supposed to be, but I'm gonna give the edge to the Utes, and I'll go 5-7. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to go 5-7 in complete agreement here. I think Nebraska's a loss. Other than that, they beat Washington, they beat Maryland, they beat Northwestern, they beat New Mexico, they beat UNLV, and then they're losing to Utah. They're losing at Penn, or they're losing to Penn State. They're losing at Michigan State. They're losing at Indiana. They're losing to Nebraska. They're losing at Ohio State, and they're losing at USC. As much as that pains me to say. So yeah, I'm going 5-7.
Yeah, 5-7. And that takes us to
Nico just won't save them, man. Nico just won't save them.
say what?
Nico's just not going to save them.
No, it's not gonna be enough. It's not gonna be enough. I think the defense is too bad. USC. Speaking of great defenses, USC next. They've got USC going 9-3. This is a playoff team. I mean, this is what they're saying. They're saying it's time for Mayava to lead the Trojans on the promised land. They've got them beating Missouri State, Georgia Southern, Purdue, Michigan State, Illinois, Nebraska, Northwestern, Iowa, and UCLA, with losses at Oregon, Notre Dame, Michigan, and that's it. So, I mean, your thoughts on a 9-3, 7-2 in the Big Ten USC Trojans team, Zach?
All right, let's go through it here. What have they added? They got Mayava from UNLV. He'll be okay. New Mexico transfer Eli Sanders for the running back room, and then they got that kid, that Pensacola kid, Wayman Jordan. Receiving group's going to be okay. Kyle Lemon's good. So, like, the offense is going to be good.
Losing
that's
Zachariah
never really
Branch is a big
but
oof, though.
It's a big oof. That's a big oof. But like you said, that defense is going to be dog shit, right? No one on that defense is good to me. I think, like, maybe the only good defensive guy you got, that old UCLA guy, Kamari Ramsey. It's a good safety, so the secondary is not terrible. But I don't know. The linebackers are okay. This team doesn't impress me very much, so let's go game by game here. Missouri State. I think that's a lot. I'm just kidding. That's not Missouri State's a win. Georgia Southern, that's a question mark. I think that's going to be a closer game than
Oh
people realize.
God.
I'm going to say that's a win.
Are
I'm going
you
to say
are you
that's a
are you
win.
are you are you
Um,
are you are you beefy 5 layer within 10 points though? Like Georgia Southern loses by 10 or less. Beefy 5 layer.
can I make it 13?
Yeah, 13. Yeah, 13. You think 13 is probably safe?
I'll beat you 5 layer at 13. Yeah, they cover
Beefy,
13.
they cover 13. I want to know what the line
They
is
cover
for this
13
game
any day.
right now. Right now.
Well, whatever that line is, I'm gonna say whatever the line is, they cover it. But all right, I'll keep going here. At
Yeah.
Purdue W, Michigan State W. I'm gonna say that's a loss. So let's see. I got the 4 wins there. Loss Michigan, loss Notre Dame, loss Nebraska, loss Northwestern W, Iowa, loss Oregon. That's a loss. UCLA, that is a W. So I have them going. I'm going 6-6, and I think that's just perfect.
6-6. Ooh, baby. Yeah, obviously line not out yet.
I
But
mean, tell me this. Tell me this, right?
yeah.
Like, where are you seeing, a seventh win? Because I think that they lose to Iowa,
Oh,
they lose to Nebraska,
oh,
they lose to Illinois.
oh.
Like, where are you seeing that other win?
Well, I mean, I think they can beat it. Illinois, I think they could probably beat them. Well, yeah, this is 7-5 ceiling, isn't it?
It's a 7-5 ceiling because they're not beating two out of the three teams here. Illinois, Nebraska, Iowa. They're not beating two out of three of those.
Yeah, I think 7-5 is where I'm gonna put them. I'm gonna put them at 7-5. You got them at
Like,
six
there's
and
no way they're
you get.
beating Nebraska. It's at Nebraska, it's at Illinois, and then it's Iowa at home. I think if they're winning any of those games, it's probably Iowa, and I don't think they're winning that. I think they're 6-6, and I think their ceiling is 7-5, and I think their floor is probably 5-7. Like, this is one of the most mid teams in college football. Like, the floor is 5-7 with UCLA being a loss, right? Like, that's maybe Michigan State, maybe the floor is 4-8.
It could be. It could. That would be horrendous. But I mean, it just depends on
That would
how.
get him
It just
fired. That would get
yeah
Lincoln
yeah
fired.
he would yeah he'd be getting paid for the rest of his life. Leading us to the Huskies here, Zach. College football news really high on the Huskies here. 7-5. For Washington, they've got. But the thing is it's not impossible. You look at this schedule, Zach, and this is cupcake right here. This is Charmin Shaft. The wins to me seem like they're wins. This looks like a 7-win team to me. I mean, you got Purdue as a win, Illinois as a win, Rutgers, Maryland, Washington State, UC Davis, and Colorado State. You could probably flip flop. If you really think they're this good, you could say they beat UCLA and lose to Illinois. I think I could be happy with that. They have losses at Wisconsin, Oregon, Michigan, um, and Ohio State on here. Your thoughts?
I think I'm just gonna add a loss to Illinois and go 6-6.
Yeah.
I think that's it for me.
Yeah. I mean the UCLA one is kind of interesting. I to have that as a loss, but I mean Nico probably the better quarterback, so I kind of agree. I think 6-6. I I think you're right. I think that's just a little bit too much for the Huskies, but I think they're going bowling.
Yeah, that's barely.
And
But yeah, they'll be there.
yeah, they'll be somewhere. They'll be playing somebody that's also mid, maybe Oklahoma State. Um, Wisconsin, the Badgers to close it out here, Zach, and close out our Big Ten preview. They've got the Badgers going 6-6 this season, 4-5 in
Ooh.
conference. They've got them beating Miami of Ohio, Middle Tennessee, Maryland, Iowa, Washington, and Illinois. They got losses to Minnesota, Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, and Alabama. Look, man, I'm willing to even go as far as to say 4-8 here. I mean,
Yeah, I'm going 4-8.
this is Illinois. If they think Illinois is good enough to beat uh, Ohio State, then they're not going to be bad enough to lose to Wisconsin on the road. So I think that Illinois is probably an L for Wisconsin, and I think you could probably put Iowa as an L for Wisconsin as well. I think those are the two you add to the loss column here. And if it's not one of those, you could even put Washington on there as a possible, to get them to 4-8 instead of one of those teams, depending on how good Illinois and Iowa end up being with their new quarterbacks as well. So again, this is a team that people think is gonna be, going bowling. Sorry, Badgers fans. Sorry, Big Cat. It's gonna be 4-8 for me.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go 4-8 here. I mean, really, like their floor is probably 3-9, and I think their ceiling is probably 5-7. So I'm gonna go 4-8 here. I don't see them beating Iowa or Illinois. I think they beat Washington, they beat Middle Tennessee, they beat Miami, they beat Maryland. So 4-8. I mean, playing at Alabama in your third game, that's tough. That's gonna be a loss. At Michigan, that's gonna be a loss. Iowa's gonna be a loss. Ohio State's gonna be a loss. At Oregon is like definitely a loss. Washington, even like I could see that being a loss. That's where I'm getting the 3-9 floor from. And then Indiana, at Indiana, that's definitely a loss. Illinois is like I feel like definitely a loss for me, and then at Minnesota feels like it's definitely a loss. But I could see that one flipping, which is where I'm getting like a 5-7. So I think I'm going 4-8 here. They're just losing so much talent, and all not to mention that they literally finished 5-7 last season.
Yeah,
Which
I,
like
and
they're just on their way down. I think this is like when people like to talk about like the new Nebraska, like I know that Wisconsin hasn't been like ever achieved the greatness that Nebraska did,
yeah,
but in terms of like Wisconsin was pretty good for a long time. Like since the early
yeah, yeah.
2000s,
They
Wisconsin has
they've
been
been yeah
pretty
they've been
good
pretty
and
decent.
one
Yeah,
of the better teams. And I think that we're on the way to Nebraska status. I'm talking about like 2000, 2010 to or 2011 to 2020 Nebraska status. This is going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Wisconsin coming
wasn't
up.
was
So
I thought 2011 Nebraska was a good Nebraska team with Ndamukong
I'm
Suh
trying to
on
figure
there.
out which team. I'm trying to figure out and they know that's the 2010 draft because that's the Sam Bradford draft as Ndamukong Suh, and it's once he got drafted, that program was shit. So, um, it's 2011 was like 2010 was actually the first season they didn't have. Let me just
Is that true?
take a little look.
Because that
Yeah,
was
because it
the
was Sam Bradford and Ndamukong Suh, Gerald McCoy, Trent Williams, first
okay.
four of the 2010 draft. Let me take a look. Let me just. Okay, it was after 20. It was 2012. They went 10-4. Was their last good
Okay,
season with
was
both
that
Williams.
yeah? Okay. So like 2013 to
Um,
to
yeah, like and they were like 9-4 that year, but they never got better than that. So like 2013 all the way to I would say 2023.
yeah,
I mean, last year they were 7-6, but
and that's where
let's
you see
see. I mean, they went
Wisconsin
just
kind
go in
of
order here. They went 9-4, 9-4, 6-7, 9-4, 4-8, 4-8, 5-7, 3-5, 3. That was what happened that year.
that was
Oh,
the
big. Oh,
COVID.
2020. 3-5, 3-9, 4-8, 5-7, and then 7-6 last year. So,
Yeah, that's where Wisconsin's headed. You think they think this is kind of the realm they're in now? Is that kind of Nebraska-esque territory?
yeah, I mean, if we really want to go into it, we could go like I would say starting with like the 1941 Nebraska Cornhuskers to the 1961 Huskers, where they never won more than 6 games in a season. That's maybe that's where they're headed. I just got the reference page up. That's really
Okay. So here's a question for you. That kind of wraps up the Big Ten, but I wanna leave you with one more beefy 5-layer bet here with me because I feel like you're gonna be on board with me. Just for both of us, the beefy
okay.
5-layer it up. Ohio State, Oregon, and Alabama are on Wisconsin's schedule, right? The combined margin of loss, so however many they lose by from each of those teams combined, will it exceed 75 points?
So will they lose on average by 25 points or more to those 3 teams? Alabama, Oregon, and Ohio State.
Yeah.
Okay, are those which one of those are at like on the road?
Oregon and Alabama are on the road.
And then Ohio State's at home. That's tough. Um I think Alabama ruins it. So I'm gonna go under on the
Okay, so
75.
yeah, you don't believe that the offensive firepower is going to be there
I think
enough.
Oregon and Ohio State will beat the fuck out of them. And then I think Alabama will somehow have a close game. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean Ty Simpson question mark. Yeah, I mean
Now I will say Oregon and Ohio State might hit the 75 on their own.
the thing is you have to take the over. So if you don't take the over, then then it's not that means it's not a good bet, and Alabama just
Fuck it.
ruins
I'll
it.
take the over. I'll take that over. I'll
Seven,
take the over. Beefy 5-layer burrito. I think that
70.
even though I
If
do
I lower
think
it
it's
to
a close game,
70, do
I
you think
think
it? Do you think do you?
oh yeah, I'll definitely take that over.
All right,
Because like I really think that Oregon's gonna beat them by like 40.
all
I
right. So
think
let's
Ohio State's
so
gonna beat them by like
okay.
30.
So we'll make ourselves sweat and go 73. 73 is a good middle ground. So we will beefy 5-layer if Ohio State, Oregon, and Alabama do not reach that 73-point threshold as far as combined winning points against Wisconsin, which means even if Wisconsin wins one of these games, it might not matter. If the other two teams beat them by 38 or more, it doesn't matter because even if you win, boop, that's 76, baby. So I mean, it's still and I don't think any of these teams is gonna beat them by 70, but I mean that would help. So yeah, we're gonna beefy 5-layer that. We'll lock it in right now. Beefy 5-layer 73 is the number. Um, we think it'll be higher than 73 points combined with the winning team on that. So I think that's a good one to have because we're not very high on the Badgers this year, and I think that offensively they're really going to struggle. So overall impressions of the Big Ten, Zach. Your thoughts on just the top brass? Is it staying the same for you? The top 4 teams, same as last year, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think it's gonna be Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, Indiana. Throw Michigan in there. Like, I think those teams are gonna be running the Big Ten, and I could see all 5 of those teams making the playoff. Um, but I think you can't have 5 teams from one conference in the playoff in this format. So I think unfortunately you're probably gonna see like Michigan left out.
Well, I
Um,
know that I did, and that
so
and
yeah,
that yeah, and that would really put them in a bind, right? Because they completely avoid having to play Indiana this year. So there's no head-to-head matchup to help them, and we've got both those teams going 10-2. So it'll have to be another form of tie break maybe for that 4th spot if it goes the way we think it's gonna
I
go. But
mean it's just gonna be the fucking voters, man, and that's
yeah,
the
yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's what it's gonna come down to.
and
And
like now that I think about it, honestly they'll probably pick Indiana just because it's a better like marketing thing with Kurt Cinetti, getting his up and coming team, and then like they're pissed at Michigan for the cheating. So
yeah, I mean, and the thing is any of those teams. I mean, yeah, I think it's gonna be at least those 4 teams, and then like you said, I think it'll be a voters call on whether or not it's Indiana or Michigan getting that final spot. But yeah, I think the Big Ten's in for some animosity. It's definitely gonna be some teams vying for Big Ten championship and that first round bye for sure. It'll be interesting to watch. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Oh no, I think Ohio State, Penn State, probably in the maybe Oregon in the Big Ten championship. We'll see.
No,
We'll see.
I
I
think,
think probably the most entertaining conference next season.
yeah, I kind of agree. I think it should be the most entertaining out of the Power Five, and I think that doesn't necessarily mean that the teams that are playing are going to be really good teams every week, but I think that it'll be a very interesting. I think a lot of these games are going to be close. I think it's going to be a really dramatic season for a lot of these teams that are on the fringe of making bowl games or being somewhat relevant in the conversation of being in the Big Ten championship, like your Illinois that people are really high on, your USC's that people seem to be pretty high on. I mean, those are going to be teams that we don't necessarily agree with. That could people we could be wrong, and we're not going to sit here and say it when we're not. So I think that this is definitely the most parity that we'll see out of any of the Power Five conferences be taking place right here in the Big Ten. I don't really have anything else to really add. NFL stuff, not really anything to touch on per se. Is Micah Parsons gonna get his deal signed before week 1?
You say Micah Parsons?
Yeah, I mean, is Jerry and him gonna kiss and make up before week 1? Because people are saying that they're just waiting it out.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, a lot of just something just came out about Trey Hendrickson. Probably not like they're like looking into trade proposals right now for Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati. So um, I could see like a trade happening there with Micah Cowboys, but I wouldn't like it necessarily. But if he doesn't want to be here, he doesn't want to be here. But yeah, I think they figure something out before week 1. Jerry just has this weird mentality. I mean, he literally fucking said that he runs this team like it's a fucking soap opera. So he just wants all the drama. So maybe he won't have it by 1. I don't fucking know.
Are we? Are
All I know,
we?
and listen, if this doesn't get clipped, I don't know what will. He needs to be assassinated. Jerry Jones has to be assassinated. And I don't mean that metaphorically. I mean that literally. Someone needs to. And listen, this is all in good fun for legal purposes. This is all in good fun. Everything's for entertainment purposes. I do not actually wish death on Jerry Jones, but I do check how old he is a lot, and I cross-reference the male life expectancy with how old he is. And I'm just saying it's only a matter of time. Maybe someone should take things into their own hands. I don't know, but it goes to Stephen Jones after that. So who knows if that's even any better? I doubt it. Um, Roger, step in. I need Roger to please step in. Just can the owners please just expel the Jones family from the NFL for all future endeavors? That
Yeah,
would be great.
breach of contract. Are we on board with saying that even after he dies, they'll consult a Ouija board on draft night for Jerry?
That's the thing. The fact that that is not out of the question says a lot about this team. I am almost convinced that Jerry Jones is waiting to have his brain uploaded into some sort of AI so that he can still make the
Oh
decisions
my gosh, you're right.
after. And it's probably going to be like a hologram. If you've ever played Fallout New Vegas, it's
Oh
probably going to be like
no. Oh
a yes man
no. Oh
situation, or not
no.
a yes man, a Doctor House. It's probably going to be
Oh
like a Doctor House
no.
situation where he's like the big screen and he's like making all his decisions because he's like a brain housed in like an AI thing.
Oh, you're so
He's like talking through a
right.
video. That's probably what's going to happen.
You're so
Probably
right.
what's going to happen with Jerry Jones. So
Not
I don't really
Jerry
think there's any
Jones
hope in the
AI. It's gonna
future.
be so racist.
Um,
Oh, it's gonna be so racist.
so I think it's gonna be Jerry Jones and like a robot thing, and it's gonna be like, all right, who do we draft? And he's gonna be like, well, this guy has an 11-inch cock, and that guy has a 9-inch cock, because apparently all fucking Jerry Jones knows how to do is analyze cocks in the locker room, and that seems to be how he makes his
Woo!
decisions. But yeah, I'm pretty much hopeless as a Cowboys fan. At least a fun. That's really all I got. Hopefully OU's better.
Yeah,
But I'm never
yeah.
gonna have any faith in the Dallas Cowboys to ever be good. I'll have no faith ever.
Fair. That's probably a fair assumption. Well, that'll close out the Big Ten. We will be traveling to another Power Five conference next time you see us. We'll see you all will be decided who gets the coveted bronze medal as the third most important conference we cover as we count down until Thursday night, baby, for Stanford and Hawaii. Keep stick on the ice. And remember, good night, Canada.